Okay, welcome back everyone to the show tonight. We have another very special guest tonight, Al Phillips from Coffs Harbour. G'day Al, how you going?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for agreeing to do this.
No, not a problem.
Mate, quickly give us an introduction and tell us a bit about yourself.
Um, yeah, my name's Al Phillips. Retired at the moment. Yeah, been shooting for quite a while and just love the sport.
How long have you been shooting and what disciplines?
Probably started shooting when I was a kid. I remember walking up the main town where I grew up. You walk up there with an air rifle and, an old bloke coming out from the veranda from who returned from the Second World War. And you kids, you be careful where you point them rifles. But yeah, that was like everyday living when I grew up. So yeah, started very, very young with air rifles and progressed right through. I suppose I've been doing quite a lot of competition shooting now, like F class and PSR and PRS matches, and now into the NRL22.
Excellent. Good to hear. I've been watching with interest your results
Yes.
since we last met in Brisbane.
Yep. Yep. Very up and down.
Well, maybe to you, I was just going to say congratulations on all your success.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a passion. Well, I think when you've got a passion, I think it shows in your results.
Yeah, I would agree with that. How was the nationals that you ran? What was the good, the bad, the ugly?
The Nationals, when we got it, we were overwhelmed to be awarded the Nationals to start off with, and I suppose that's where things start. It's like, yeah, okay, we put the hard work in to get the Nationals, and well, okay, now you've got to start doing everything. So one of the big nightmares that I found was getting volunteers
Yep.
because I had planned on using a lot of the local um, shooters from Coffs to give me a hand with volunteer on the day, but most of them got selected to be in the finale. So that that pool sort of dried up really, really quickly. So I had to reach out. Fortunately, Coffs is very, very lucky. We've got, well over 200 odd members in our club, and I was able to reach out and beg and cry and grovel to a lot of the members, and a lot of them come through, which I was very, very grateful for, and put their hand up. And the majority of those guys, probably 95% of the volunteers that turned up, had never done it before.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very big eye open for me and for the competitors when they turned up, because I had to explain, be careful with these guys. We don't want to get rid of them on the first day. We're going to make sure they're here for the second day as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was one of the big hurdles. That course of fire did not have a problem. There was three of us that did the course of fire. I come up with the different stages and ran through them, and we'd go out. The three of us would go out and we'd shoot the course of fire, and then we'd discuss it. Is it too hard? Is it too easy? Are the distances realistic? Are the other targets realistic? And every one of those stages was fine by all three of us, and we're all different levels of shooters too.
Yeah.
That the three of us that were shooting, so it was good to get all three um, eyes casting over, I suppose, and then shooting the match as well.
Yeah. I
I
like.
think one of the things that I think one of the things that caught a lot of people out. We take pride in our range at Coffs, and a lot of people describe it like a golf course.
Yeah.
So there's no indication where your shots are going. So if you miss that target, there's no indication whether it went left or right or over or under,
Yeah.
unless you could physically see the bullet, the projectile. So, and that's what caught most of the people out. Whereas the three of us that had shot it, we knew our range, we knew what stuff did, I suppose. So that gave us an advantage, like it would anyone who has a home finale or home stage. Gives them the advantage of what their ranges are like. So
Yeah, for sure. I ask because I didn't go. I've heard very little back I'm interested. I'm interested in um, possibly doing things differently next nationals. Um, I've got a few things that I plan to put forward to PRA to see if they're agreeable. Um, yeah, I'm just interested in how it went. I was unable to go. I changed jobs, and that sort of put a kosher on a lot of my shooting for basically the year.
Yeah, yeah. Overall, we've run many major matches at Coffs Harbour,
Yeah,
so we're fairly old hands at running it. And one of the things we take pride in is our catering.
yeah,
And the catering at that match was absolutely phenomenal. We had one of our local members who was a chef, and they prepared all the meals for everyone, and absolutely outstanding meals.
go on.
It was well run, it was well set out. Um, and I had a lot of shooters come up to me on the Sunday after they got over the Saturdays stages, come up to me on the Sunday and they went, "Yeah, mate, that was great." It actually put it all back into perspective for me, because I thought, what have I done? I think I've crueled it for a lot of people, but yeah, to have that recognition at the end of the competition, people coming up and saying that was great. Of course, the fire was, yeah, that made my day anyway.
Oh, good on you. That's lovely that they did that.
Yeah,
How many competitors did you have?
we had 60,
Yeah,
60 competitors, which worked out well. We ended up having about 20 volunteers, so I was able to have a couple of spare volunteers to help out
yep.
around different areas. So that worked out really well.
Big call, eh? Big event to pull on.
Oh, it is, and yeah, I think everyone enjoyed the facilities that we have at Coffs, and I'd be surprised if they didn't want to come back again. So
Yeah. Now you're in the PRA executive. How's all that going?
it's going very well at the moment. We're slowly going through expanding a few roles,
Yeah.
putting a few things into place, and memberships have been opened up, and
Yep.
it's steadily climbing up, which is really, really good. We're getting very, very close to 100 members, so
Yep.
that's really good news. So
I'm so excited. Can you tell with the email?
yes,
I'm member 008.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's a great step in the right direction with what everything that you guys are doing.
Oh yeah, it is, and the comment that was there this afternoon. There is a lot of work that goes in
I
behind the
don't,
scenes.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
My wife and I have a little exposure to
Oh, no doubt. Yep.
running stuff, and yeah, we know how you feel. We do really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now, shooting questions. How normally do you train?
My training basically consists on just doing the monthly course of fire.
Right.
So I'll just try and get out there once a week and do it. Set the stages up and go through it. That's basically it. I don't do any extra um, other than that. So yeah,
In the
very
lead
very
up,
simple.
in the lead up to bigger events, does it change for you?
Yeah, in the lead up to bigger events, yes. So I'd probably try and push it out to at least 2 times a week,
Yeah.
and extend the range out. So it might be the same course of fire, same stages and that, but I'll extend the distance out to whatever it is that we're going to. If it's a 200-yard match, then I'll extend the targets out to 200. If it's 300, then we'll extend them out to 300. So that's basically how we go through it.
What gun, scope, chassis? What's your rig? What do you run?
So I run when I started the NRL, I was using my field class 22 that I got to Bruno Model 2,
Yeah.
with a big thick Krieger barrel on it that's about, I don't know, bigger than a truck axle, I suppose. I was using that to start with, and quickly thought, well, I need to get some other rig, and I've had quite a few tickers, and I liked how the tickers perform, so I went down and purchased the 20-inch barrel ticker,
Yep.
and been running that with the standard trig ago. I ran that for 12 months or so, and then I went through a situation that I've been through before, which is basically all in my head. That I thought the barrel wasn't big enough to shoot out the 300 when we were going to America last year.
Yeah.
So I had it rebarreled to the IBI replacement barrel. It's a screw in, well, not a screw in, but just a bolt on
Pre-fit.
with the Olympic chamber
Yeah.
pre-fit. Yep. Which was a bit heavier, a bit
Mm.
stiffer, and I made a few modifications. I took it out of the chassis and put it into a MDT chassis. And I'm currently very fortunate enough to be supported by Loophole. So I run a Mark IV Loophole scope on top, 6 to
Lovely.
24. And also supported by Ely. So we run Ely through it as well, which is pretty good.
That was my next question. What ammo does it like?
Yeah, Ely, mate. My rifle, hands down, shoots the tightest one-shot groups at 50 and 100. It's literally one hole.
Really?
Yep, best one-shot groups in the world.
That's golden. I really respect that.
One shot. Yeah, five-shot five-shot groups are a little bit different.
Is it?
But 50 meters, it's a ragged hole, probably 0.1. And I've actually got a target here. I don't know I'll be able to see it on there, but a 5 cent piece will cover it at 100.
Lovely.
So yeah, it's on the money. It shoots really, really well, and the barrel seems to like most ammunition I put through it. I was putting SK long range through it before.
Yep.
I put Lapua super long range through it in Italy, and it loved that stuff. And the Ely as well, it just loves it. So I'm very fortunate to have a barrel that's not too finicky with rounds, which is really good.
I think the better made barrels are like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I work in
yeah,
a gun shop, so I've got there's three of us there, and the three of us shoot the NRL22 monthly calls of fire.
yep,
And Carissa that works there, she bought a T1X UPR
yep,
because she liked the colour of the stock. And, and man, it's a shooter.
yeah,
It's a shooter, and I've
yeah.
bought it. It's really, she's really having fun with it. We soon here in Charles Towers, we're doing a 200 metre range, so very shortly we'll be able to run and host the 100-yard series.
Oh yeah,
So expect to see her in the standings.
yeah. Very good.
Hopefully this year, if we can get it built and up and running.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
Yes, I was very impressed with the tickers. Yeah, very impressed.
And a lot of the top shooters in the States are impressed with them too.
Yeah,
I
really.
had a conversation with one of the guys in my squad last year, and he was telling me he's got about 3 Voodoos and a Rimex and some other thing I'd never heard of, and he said, and a ticker T1X, and
Yeah,
he said, of all the rifles, if I want a rifle to go to, as in just a plain, no problems at all rifle, he says, I'll pick up that ticker.
yeah,
I know I can take it out and shoot it all day long and won't have any issues at all with it.
yeah, yeah. That's
So,
what I see here at home. Yeah, very reliable.
yeah, very.
Great price. How's ammo availability in your area?
Um, at the moment, it's called unobtainium.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, scarce as hen's teeth.
Yeah,
And really, really, when it does come in, people are just buying it up, packing it away. So, yeah, it's very, very, very limited as to what you can actually get.
yeah, yeah.
Those training days, yeah, you really count how many rounds. Whereas, 12 months ago, you go, oh, I just put through a couple of boxes, and now it's like, yeah, we only need 50. Okay, that's what you're getting.
Yeah. You know what I do? I train closer. I train out to 30, 40 yards with Hornady standard velocity.
Yeah, right.
My barrel is still, it will still group like half inch for me at that distance.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing to save
No,
money.
good idea. Yeah, good idea.
What's your cleaning routine? I've been asking everyone. We're getting a lot of different answers on this.
Cleaning routine, I actually went through and cleaned it today because that's the one thing I found with the Ely ammo. I have to clean it because with that Olympic chamber, as you're feeding rounds into it, just a tiny little bit of wax is coming off and it's sitting around the chamber end of the barrel and it gets on the bolt and all of a
Yep.
sudden I'll have issues with it if I don't clean it within 150 rounds and I know I'm going to have issues. So my cleaning regime, very, very quick. I get a jag and I put a rag on it with C4 carbon remover, and all I'm doing is cleaning out that carbon ring.
Yep.
And I'll sit that in the chamber for up to a minute. Then I'll pull it out and I'll put a bronze brush into it and I'll give it a scrub on a drill. I'll just press the drill ember, let it go for about 20 or 30 seconds,
Yep.
in and out, and then pull it out. And then I'll just push that wet C4 jag all the way through the barrel, and I'll push 2 clean patches through it, and that's it.
Yep.
And I'll just clean up the face of the chamber, clean up the face of the bolt, put a bit of oil on the bolt, and that's it. Done. All done in 5 minutes.
Yep. Sounds easy.
Yeah.
The cordless drill's a good trick, I reckon.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. When I saw it, I thought, oh, no, a bit skeptical about
Yeah,
this.
me too.
But yeah, but after trying it, it's like, yeah, wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah. What's the best single piece of advice you've been given, shooting wise?
Oh, shooting wise, single piece.
Since you've started NRL22?
Um, probably be mindful of your timings. So really watch your timings and how you go through it,
Yep.
because you go too slow, then you're potentially missing out on shots. You go too fast, and you may potentially be missing targets.
Yep.
So one of the best bits was I went out, and I don't own any Apple watches, any Apple iPhones or anything like that. I'm fortunate my daughters do, but so I went out and bought a secondhand Apple watch and put the match timer on it.
Yep.
And man, oh man, it has been absolutely one piece of advice I give to the intermediates and the better shooters out there is get an Apple Watch, something, because it talks to you. It tells you how much time you've got,
Yep.
and you can manage your time so easy, so easy. You might be down to your last round, and if you don't know what the timings are, this
Yep.
thing tells you, 10, 9, counts it down. You can go, I've got 10 seconds. You can just take your time, be confident that last shot, bang, gone.
Do you
Yeah.
start with the flick? Is that one?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely golden. Barricade bag preference. What do you run?
Barricade bag. When I first started, because I was a bit like yourself, and I'm not flush with cash, so I had made up a bag that simply had an arca clamp to it and then bolted onto the base of the rifle, and I'd slide that up and down where I wanted it to fit.
Golden.
And I used that for 18 months or so,
Yep.
and it done well. And everyone was going out and getting these fancy bags, and I'm looking, $250 for a bag. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll just stay with this.
Yeah.
And when I got back from Italy, it sort of I was probably the only one using that bolt-on bag. Everyone else was running medium, so I thought, well,
I love it.
I better get one and see what they go like. So I went down the rabbit hole and bought myself a medium. And the first time I used it, I put it on a tank trap. And I put my rifle on there and I looked through the rifle and I went, wow, this is cheating. It was that big a difference, that big a change, man, oh man. Yeah, so just this medium now. That's basically what I run all the time.
Yeah. Are you a less is better sort of a guy? You don't go to the line with
Yeah,
4 bags?
yeah. No, I won't have. I have actually started. I've started looking at stages just from watching how some of the top shooters, because they can carry like 3, 4, 5 bags, and what they were doing was had a lot of merit to it. So there's a lot of places where, for instance, last month's stage, course of fire on the block and the barrel
Yep.
was I took 2 mediums. I borrowed one off one of the other guys, and I just put one on the barrel and one on the block, and I just moved my rifle rather than carrying a bag, which works out so much easier, so much quicker. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Saves a bit of time.
oh, it saves a lot of time. Yeah,
Yeah, I love my medium too. I couldn't compete without it.
yeah.
Greatest NRL 22 achievement to date. You have a few. Oh, really? OG, overseas.
That's winning the nationals in America
Yep.
a couple of months ago. That blew me mind just doing that, because yeah, that was fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
So yeah, very, very, very proud of that achievement. So
You should be. I watched a lot of that on YouTube. I was back over here cooing and singing out like I was watching the footy.
yeah, I did a very wrong thing, the same as Mitch when we were over there. It was like we finished on a Saturday. Let's have a look at the scores. I thought, well, I got no chance of being anywhere near the leaderboard at all, because of the guys I'd actually shot against, the guys in the States before last year and in Worlds, and they are good shooters.
Yeah.
And then to have a look at on the Saturday, the scores on the Saturday, and I was seven impacts clear of second place, and I just went, why did I do that? Why
Really?
did I look at that? Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I've been in that situation before. I yeah, sort of prepared myself a little bit for that, so which
Yeah.
was pretty.
I did an interview with JJ last night actually, and we were talking about it, and I just sort of said to him, "There's many parts to being a competitor, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
Many
yeah,
parts."
absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and one of the things I wanted to achieve this year in the States at the Nationals when we're going over was to get the Aussie cohesion in our squad,
Mm.
and really be on there for what my ability is from all the different sorts of shooting I've been doing. And I won't say I'm the greatest wind coach by any means, but I was I had a plan there to try and get as much information to the guys in our squad as possible,
Yeah.
because even though it is an individual match, it still gets down to that person in that situation on that stage as to whether they can pull it off. And if I can give them a little bit of information about, it's a left to right wind, you need to be holding at least left edge on that target, then I had no hesitation in passing that on.
Yeah.
And yeah, subsequently our whole squad did really, really well. We had such good cohesion over there in the States. It was just great to see.
Really, that's unreal.
Yeah.
It's that sort of community, but don't you think you find, like even as you travel abroad, it's a really nice community?
Oh, mate. And the Americans absolutely they can't do enough for you.
Yeah.
They're so honest, and they just give up basically everything. Is
Yeah.
absolutely it is truly something to be able to actually go over there and witness yourself in person. It's fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see it. It's you see it. I do a lot of YouTube with this NRL22, and you see it.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
the commentators, and yeah, it's evident.
yeah.
What do you wish you hadn't done at the start of your NRL22 journey? Was there anything that hurt you?
Um, no, no, I don't think so. Probably should have went and bought a medium quicker.
Yeah.
That's probably about it. But it's slow. I mean, I'm still changing things. It was only a couple of weeks ago that I put a different trigger on my ticker. I've been running the original ticker trigger, and if you've ever shot one of them, man, I mean, she's almost a two-finger job to get that thing to go off.
I
Like,
could imagine.
and there's not a great selection of triggers for tickets. So, or they want an arm and a leg for them. So I thought, well, $700. I'm not paying $700 for a trigger. I'll just persist with it and try and lighten it as best I can. But I went through and put a jarred trigger
Oh,
on
yeah.
my ticker, and man, oh man,
Yeah.
this thing just goes off when you even think about it. It's like,
Yeah. Really.
yeah, yeah. Train when I first put it on, it was like, wow, that's it's so light. But after I did a bit of training with it, I'm thinking, oh no, I might be able to lighten it off a bit now.
Yeah.
But we did our first match on Sunday, and it's completely two different things when you're training and when you when the pressure's on in a competition. I was like, holy shit, that thing goes off easiest. Yeah.
When I
So
first started, I came from a handgun background. When I first started, I took my gun to a gunsmith in Townsville, and we had the conversation. Said, "Look, can you work on my trigger?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, what do you want?" And I said, "Oh, well, a pound would be nice." Well, within weeks, I'm back. She's 8 ounces now.
yeah.
We become real trigger snobs, don't we?
Oh, you do. Yeah, because I'm used to there was one of the competitions I had where you couldn't have a trigger, you weren't allowed to have a trigger lighter than 1 kilo.
Yeah, really.
So so it was something you had to reef on it. So I've been used to really heavy triggers for so long, but when you're trying to shoot a quarter-inch target at 44 yards, and the more pressure you're putting on that trigger, the bigger wobble you're starting to get up with
Yeah.
that power back and forth. Then you start realizing, well, yeah, I need to get a lighter trigger. So
Especially when you're bent over and you're blacking out.
yes, yes, yes.
What advice would you give to a new starter?
Just go and do it.
Yeah, great.
Just go and do it.
Yeah,
Don't go out there and need to go and buy a voodoo or need to go and buy a Remix or anything like that. Just get what you've got and just go out there and do it, because you will learn so much. You will have so much enjoyment. And everyone that I've been to, all the different competitions, everyone is so quick to give up comments, to give you information, to give you guidance and coach you on how to do things. They'll loan you all their gear.
yeah.
It is just go out there and do it. Just grab your 22 and go out there and do
Great advice.
it.
Where to from here for Al Phillips? What's next? What's another goal you have?
Yeah. I've done a lot. I have really, really done a lot. So my biggest goal now is passing on information,
Okay.
is getting into the coaching area and coaching people up and bringing them up to speed without having to go through the years and years I did all by myself, like learning how to do stuff myself and watching someone else do it. And I'll try that as well. Oh, it seems to work. And yeah, so I'm in that stage now of trying to pass on all my knowledge to the people coming through now to make them better shooters.
Does that mean clinics? Will there be any clinics on the horizon?
Oh, I don't know about that far. I don't know about clinics, but certainly at this stage, the guys and the girls in our club here, I'm trying to give as much information as I can to and coach them along and point out to them,
Yeah,
hey, stop what you're doing right now. Have a look at the position you're in.
yeah.
All you're doing is wasting lead down range. I'll change your position up, and they'll do that, and I'll get them into a better position. I'll say, how's that feel? And they'll go, wow, it's taken a lot of the wobble out. And I said, yeah, it's if I can give you that information, and yeah,
I always tell them it's like magic, isn't it? They go, yeah, and I go, no, it's not.
yeah, that's
It's
exactly right.
it's
It's
better
just a matter of
fundamentals.
just exactly right. That's all it is. Better fundamentals.
Oh God, love you. That's golden. Thank you so much for your interview. Thank you for agreeing to
No,
do this.
no, not a problem. Not a problem.